Tough to get that guy off the phone. So, I don't know how you thought about that voice, but, it sounds pretty good to me, and that's over a convention center internet, which is about some of the worst internet out there, in my opinion, having been to most convention centers. So, even though we're sending these calls over the public internet, and you got to remember this is a business, so the business needs need to be taken care of. There's security becomes an issue, privacy of calls certainly becomes an issue. Even basic functions like E911 is an issue. I can tell you that for our business customers, we actually route about 50 911 calls a day over that customer base of 12,000 plus businesses. So I know I've only called 911 once in my life, but apparently a lot of people call 911, and that becomes a big feature. It's also incumbent upon this industry, I think, to support what's going on in Washington with the CALEA mandates, the things coming out of the FCC. Certainly all of our states and communities are hurting for money, so I think the taxes that this industry is being assessed, if you accept the fact that telecom is one of the most taxed services that's ever been invented, it makes sense to me that we need to be paying our fair share there. And going forward, I think there's a lot of advanced services you get out of we have a little, it's the response point adapter is what we call it, things that we're working on like auto location of 911 locations. And so I think we heard yesterday in the Microsoft keynote how important software is, but as long as we have that telephone interface as the basic interface, I think you're going to see hardware as part of these solutions as well. Hopefully a smaller component, and hopefully a component that's getting cheaper and cheaper. My box is about this big, and I am always envious of Cisco because they can still charge $10,000 for a box that big. We give ours away, and I think that's the trend in the industry. So given all that, I didn't put Gary's picture up. That's what Gary looks like, I'm sorry. Given all that, I think it's no wonder that we're beginning to see these services roll out in retail. 8x8's been selling in places like Office Depot, Office Max, Staples. We went live with this summer on their website, and we're in a couple of their stores right now in a trial. Microsoft has had a good response out of Costco. And so, to give you an idea, for 8x8, about 14%, 1/4, of our new business sales in the June quarter came through our retail partners. And that's actually a big sliver of business, and it's getting bigger. So I think that's an exciting trend. And I think going forward, you're going to see more of that. I think you're going to see less of the phone guy and more of kind of this self-installed model that we've hopefully convinced you of today. More of the public internet, less of the private data connections. So to conclude, in the current recessionary climate, when I wrote this, it was 2 weeks ago, so it wasn't as bad a recession as it is now, but you could probably read in this depression climate. I think we're all living through an unprecedented moment in history, maybe not as bad as the Great Depression, but certainly with oil, inflation, housing, credit affecting all aspects of American business, we have a perfect storm that I'm afraid will be with us for quite a while, based on my guesses. But this business cycle we're in, it's having a tremendous impact on businesses, and especially the small business customers that our industry serves. I had a conversation with one of our longtime customers just 2 weeks ago. He's a mortgage broker. He's based in Glendale, California, not too far from here. In March, he had 12 employees in an office in Glendale. As of 2 weeks ago, he has 3 employees, and he just told his landlord that he can't afford the office anymore. And so it's a common story, it's a recurring story, but it's actually a story that our industry is also helping alleviate, because what he was able to do is unplug, the 3 remaining employees unplugged their phones from the office. They moved back into their home offices, plugged the phones back in without any disruption to the business, without any new equipment needing to be purchased, and my mortgage broker in Glendale is still in business today because of that ability. And so that's an example that's out there, the climate we're in, where we're helping these businesses make a seamless transition from a fixed office environment to more of a distributed, a lot of times home office environment. So I think it's incumbent upon our industry to reach out to the business community, to show them the impact that these technologies are having, to share the stories of my mortgage broker in Glendale, so that they know that these capabilities are available, so they know the effect and impact these technologies can have on their businesses. And I'm not going to stand up here and be embarrassed to tell you that we should also be letting them know the financial advantages. I don't think the long-term strategy of our industry is about price, but I think in this climate we're living in, I can tell you that 8x8 has certainly changed our marketing message to these small business customers to be exactly about price. First thing we tell a prospective customer is, let's see your phone bill and let me see how much money I can save you the rest of this year if you sign up for some of our services. I also want to say, if you're a business owner or a representative of a business that's here at the show, while you're here this week, get a quote from me. Get a quote from all my competitors that are here at the show. You need to understand there are substantial savings to be had, and I think it's business malpractice in this environment not to be seeking out communications alternatives to your current solutions. That, literally I gave some examples of savings of tens of thousands of dollars a year. If you're a large enterprise, we're talking millions of dollars a year. And, that's going to make a big difference in your business immediately, and it'll make a longer-term difference in your business with the features and functions and services that you get access to. I'm always amazed when I do sales calls how few business owners actually know what they're paying per month in telecommunications bills. Sometimes we even pull the IT department in, and they don't know. It's just overlooked by small business as a cost of doing business. There's nothing you can do about it. So I encourage the business owners, pull out your phone bills when you get home, take a hard look at them. And like I said, implementing these types of technologies can be a game changer for your business. I think it's important to note that many of these new technologies are not about selling your business something new. We're trying to save your business substantial money that right now is going out the door to things like legacy CLECs, incumbent ILECs, who are all too happy to have you as a high-paying customer forever and resist any form of change other than maybe increasing your price once a year. If you're in the industry, please join me this week in this educational push and outreach, as Microsoft did this morning and as we're doing in the future, and let's do our part in the industry to turn the U.S. economy around. Thank you for listening. Have a great week at the show.